The courtroom felt colder than it should have. My palms were damp, my heartbeat a slow, painful thud against my ribs. I wasn't nervous about losing. I'd already lost far more than money or pride. I just needed to say it out loud. "Mr. Hall," the judge said, adjusting her glasses, "you're contesting alimony after a 15-year marriage. Why?" I met her eyes. "Because she didn't just betray me, Your Honor," I said, my voice steady but raw. "She built her entire life by stealing mine." The words hung in the air like smoke. For a second, even my ex-wife Claire looked unsettled, her lips twitching as she turned her gaze downward, pretending to be composed. I reached for the folder on the table, the same one I'd kept hidden for years, tucked away behind my tax files, in a locked drawer I once trusted her with. "Start from the beginning," the judge said. So I did. 15 years ago, I thought I'd married the woman who'd saved me. Claire was charming, ambitious, the kind of woman who made people feel seen. She worked in finance, I was a civil engineer. We met at a charity gala. She spilled wine on my suit, apologized with a laugh that still echoes in my memory. From that night, she filled every space in my life. My apartment, my weekends, my dreams. She talked about partnership, shared goals, building something together. That word, together, would come to taste like rust in my mouth. The first signs were small. A transfer from our joint account labeled consulting fees. A missing invoice from one of my projects. She'd always smile when I asked, brush it off with a kiss. "Oh, I'm just moving things around for taxes, babe." I wanted to believe her. So I did. That's the worst part about betrayal. It needs your trust to survive. Years went by. Our house grew, our cars upgraded, her wardrobe expanded. When I questioned how she managed to pay off her student loan so quickly, she laughed and said, "You worry too much. It's all ours anyway." I nodded, telling myself love meant not prying. But love also makes you blind. It was our 12th anniversary when the truth began to surface. I was fixing the Wi-Fi router. A small mundane thing. When I noticed her laptop left open on the counter. Not unusual. But the screen was filled with spreadsheets. Names, amounts, dates. All familiar. My company's clients. My projects. My invoices. Except the accounts weren't linked to me. They were linked to her. I remember the exact moment my stomach turned to stone. My hand trembled as I scrolled through the files. Transfers. Withdrawals. Offshore accounts. She hadn't just been moving things around. She'd been funneling money, my earnings, into her own name for over a decade. When she walked in and saw me staring at the screen, she didn't panic. She just sighed, poured herself a glass of wine and said, "I was wondering when you'd notice." I thought she'd cry, apologize, explain. Instead, she looked relieved. "I built this life too, Nate," she said, leaning against the counter. "You worked. I planned. You think clients just fall into your lap? Who do you think pitched half your contracts while you were buried in blueprints?" My throat burned. "You stole from me, Claire. From us." She smiled, almost pitying. "I optimized us." That word made me sick. Optimized. Like our marriage was a spreadsheet she'd manipulated for efficiency. I walked out that night and never went back. But walking away didn't end it. Divorce dragged on for 2 years. Her lawyers painted her as the victim, the supportive wife who sacrificed her career for her husband's success. She wanted alimony, half my pension, even my grandmother's house. I stayed quiet until today. When the judge asked why I was contesting, I handed over the flash drive. "This contains bank statements, emails, and financial records, spanning 15 years, I said. She transferred hundreds of thousands into hidden accounts while pretending to support me. The courtroom murmured. Claire's attorney objected, but the judge silenced him. She inserted the drive into her laptop. The screen behind her filled with numbers, transfers, timestamps, all bearing Claire's signature. For the first time, Claire's confidence faltered. Her face flushed. She whispered, "You don't understand, Nate. It wasn't just about money." "Then what was it?" I asked quietly. She looked up, her eyes glistening. "It was about control. You loved your work more than me. I just wanted to be part of it, to have something that was mine too." Her voice cracked, and for a split second, I saw the woman I'd once loved. Fragile, desperate, human. Not a thief. Not a monster. Just someone who couldn't stand being left behind. It didn't excuse what she did. But it explained it. The judge's ruling came hours later. Claire's alimony request was denied. She was ordered to repay the diverted funds, though I knew most were long gone. As we walked out of the courtroom, she caught my arm. "You didn't have to humiliate me," she whispered. I stared at her hand on my sleeve, the same hand that once held mine through everything. "You did that to yourself," I said softly. "I just finally stopped hiding it." She nodded once, tears slipping silently down her face. Then she turned and walked away, her heels clicking against the marble. A sound that once meant home, now only an echo of loss. That night I sat alone in my kitchen. The house felt cavernous, hollow. I poured myself a drink, the silence pressing in like fog. 15 years together. 15 years of believing I was loved, supported, protected. But betrayal doesn't erase love. It corrupts it, twists it into something unrecognizable. I didn't hate Claire. I pitied her, and maybe in some buried part of me, still loved the person she pretended to be. As I closed the case file and turned off the lights, I realized something. She hadn't just stolen money. She'd stolen the story I thought we were writing together. But now I was finally the one holding the pen.